Okay, so it's me, welcome here. Hello.
Good morning, people. How are you? It's a beautiful day.
Right. Why Monopoly Capital?
Exactly. And what is it really all about?
Okay, let's talk.
Okay, so I'm struggling to understand the ethical principles behind receiving funds from specific companies or organizations that, in my case, can sometimes be the catalyst for that very thing that we are trying to address. An example that I would make is we are in recovery and we help people deal with addiction. Could we then accept funding from companies like the South African Breweries?
Yes.
Okay, I say no, because I feel that how do we then explain or even justify taking money from them in the first place when they are in actual fact the perpetrators of that very thing that we're trying to...
Are they?
In a big sense of the word, they are the producers and the distributors.
Yes, they produce a product for the marketplace.
Right.
You know, and the people are the marketplace. And that product is distributed and people are employed to distribute that product, and the employees of that organization are taxed, and the government makes money from it, and so we receive a lot of revenue from it.
Okay.
The government does. And people receive employment from it. Yeah. And they can then go and get the money and then spend the money on what they want to spend it on. Yeah?
But does it justify the fact that most of, if you look at the police reports or even at the statistics...
Would you take money from Coca-Cola?
I would take money from Coca-Cola. Okay. Because...
Who owns Coca-Cola? SAB have a great big stake in it.
Right.
So on the one hand, as a company, they're making money from the selling of the product of alcohol, and on the other hand, they're making money from selling the product that's made with sugar, and both products have an impact on society.
But at the same time, if you look at, for me, it is the branding that speaks. So if I were to take money from Coca-Cola, it would be because there would be a bottle and it would be written Coca-Cola. It wouldn't be a beer bottle written underneath South African Brewery Services.
But isn't that just dishonest?
What I'm saying is, I want to know what message do we give to people that are struggling with that specific addiction. But it's
to take those products. Don't consume them. If you have a problem with them, this is how we can help. We're not telling you whether you must or you mustn't.
Because what I understand is that the main function and the foundation of the clinic itself, as the foundation clinic, is to create...
So the clinic is complete abstinence. We don't want you to do anything.
Right.
Yeah, that's what the clinic subscribes to.
Okay.
Programs of complete abstinence.
Right.
Yeah. But we know with addiction, when people have come from heavy drug use, like Turk, or the
ecstasy and cocaine.
Well, yeah, they're slightly different, but the same thing. But the person has a crisis, and then they enter the recovery period. A lot of people entering recovery get addicted to pornography, food, relationships, work. They pick up a whole lot of other behaviors to kind of...
Yeah, but my question is that even though they pick up these behaviors, the thing that drives them, like there was this drive that was recently done by SAB, which was the mentor program, where they then say that older men have to take younger boys and tutor them or mentor them, right? And it's a beautiful program.
Right.
But what this program also does is that it tells the younger boys, or the picture that it gives is that, yes, the South African Brewery Services that distributes alcohol throughout the country, and it has also been founded that alcohol has been the major drive or one of the drives within domestic violence. In most crimes that are being committed in South Africa, people are under the influence. So my thing is that very thing that's also trying to help the community is also the very same thing that's breaking down the community. So what I feel this is unethical about is the fact that
But isn't the problem poverty within the community?
But poverty in which sense, as I made an example.
And poor education and poor
Exactly,
resources.
but what does alcohol do? Alcohol numbs the senses.
Thank you. So alcohol is the medicine, yeah, that helps the person survive temporarily, gives temporary relief for the prison that they're caught in.
Right.
Which is poverty, poor education, lack of resources.
That makes.
Would you agree with that?
What I said, I agree with that completely. Saying that you give a guy a salary of 2,000 rand. That very guy that has been given 2,000 rand lives in a state of poverty, but he's got this job where he gets 2,000 rand. He gets his money, and on that same night he goes home, extracts his money from the bank, the ATM, and he goes into a shibee and buys alcohol.
Okay, so if alcohol wasn't there, what would he do with that?
So if alcohol wasn't there, then obviously that money would then go into a different need.
Like what?
Would be, for instance, there would be a family and he would realize that he needs to take care of his family.
You think?
Because as you walk home, I mean, have you seen the setup of townships?
Of course.
Townships are set up in a way, even the mainstream areas are set up in a way that on your way home, there's bottle stores.
That I've got.
The
question is, are we morally wrong to take money from an organization that sells a product in these marketplaces and profits from it?
My thing is, how do we create an opportunity for our communities? How do we educate them and how do we empower them? And are we able to create, educate and empower them having SAB Brewery as a funder?
Yes.
That's my question, because
yes,
how? Okay, because if we
can, the philosophical question is it morally right?
And that's the question.
And this is what we're exploring.
And I would really like it that if you out there could also help us, because this is very deep, and I feel today, especially today, that this is a part where I'm struggling with within my own life to say, how do you take from the hand that can actually destroy the community?
So you need to educate, emotional literacy,
right,
and financial literacy. Would you agree?
Of course I would agree that there's...
Okay. So if you use money to educate people, yeah, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
You need to buy stationery, you need to buy the materials to do that, right. So obviously money plays an important role.
So you need money to create this, yes?
Right.
So if that money comes from?
SABC, Coca-Cola, Dis-Chem, wherever.
So the institution that the money comes from.
But if that institution is not...
Could we take money from the EFF?
I feel that it would be, how can I say, it would cause a bit of a challenge, especially when we look at the
it's
brand
morally
itself.
wrong not to take money from the EFF. It's morally wrong not to take money from the ANC. It's morally wrong not to take money from the DA.
But do we believe that
what we need to do is take money from everyone and not take sides?
When we take that money.
That's what we need to be clear on, what our mandate is and what we do with the money. I mean, we must be completely transparent. So we've got this amount of money in, and this is what we did with it, and these are the people that have been empowered.
And this is what this money did benefit.
And this is what the research is. And then from that, we put that wisdom back there.
So what you're saying is that it's irrespective of SAB or anybody else, if that money is used for good, it is possible that
my thinking is, give me your money, I do good with money. That's my thinking and I'll take your money and I'll feed it into my kokorozashi and I'll create nice MySpace.
Right.
Yeah?
And then my question is, even in that nice MySpace that we've created, what about...
Why do these guys want to give us money?
Because I feel the reason why they want to give money is that it's the same as in the, if we go back to the apartheid regime or the apartheid system, is that some people have done a lot of good things in certain communities because they felt guilty of what has happened in the past. I feel that people or organizations or companies like SAB and various other companies, pharmaceutical companies, feel that we've destroyed half of the society. Can we not do something to actually not cover up, but in a way give back and build the society so that we can actually have a reputation that we can look back at? Because obviously that's one of the reasons why, and I might be incorrect by saying it, or
so
maybe...
do they want to give us money so they feel better about themselves?
I feel that that's the reason why.
Okay.
I mean, if you know...
Stupid?
I mean, I think if you know that your product...
I mean, do you really think that...
But do you really think that they don't know that their product is the cause of half of the problems?
Yeah, and it's also the solution to half of the problems.
So to put people in intoxicated mode so that they can
to survive this planet that we've created, I'd much rather we looked at changing the environment instead of having, so the environment changes instead of having people to have to medicate themselves to survive the environment. It's like kids at school, to be put on Ritalin so that they can sit still in class to digest the information, which is really quite boring for them. Does that make sense? So we should rather change the learning environment that the kids learn in so they don't have to be medicated. We need to change the living environments so people don't have to go out and buy the products that medicate them to survive in those environments.
Okay, so I'm sold on one point. So this is what I feel I can do, and this is what I feel that maybe we should.
What am I trying to sell you?
What you're trying to sell me is that I get it. So we do take money from these companies which I feel are unethical. For instance, SAB, we take money from them, and we take that money and we empower the community to such an extent where they don't want this product anymore.
So here's going to be your challenge. Is people here, first of all, aren't going to give us the money because of the type of people we work with.
But
they're going to say, why must we give money to help drug addicts?
No, but that is what they want to. But that is what they want to do.
No, they won't, because it will impact their brain. They will take money and invest in organizations if it's good for them.
So what are you saying?
That they would invest in us if they could see it was good for them, if it was good for business.
And
they're not going to do it out of guilt.
So what is?
So now we're going down into the whole white guilt thing.
So are you telling me that
CSIs and let's today is Mandela Day, right? Let's be nice people. Let's get out of our corporate institutions, our profit making. Let's go and paint fucking something in the poor area. Let's feel good about ourselves and let's go back to business.
Right.
Yeah. Which is in the business of making money. Yeah. And SAB as an organisation will be held accountable to shareholders. Shareholders, those shares will be in pension funds. Those pension funds will be held by the people. And in South Africa, mostly white people.
Okay, so what you're saying is that, in essence, is that
so what I'm
it's
saying
possible.
Is your morals are stopping the cash flow coming in. Because you've got some kind of moral idea that you want to project and put onto other people.
So we can actually take something which is unethical and make it ethical. Is it possible?
So what makes it unethical is what we do with the money and how we get the money and what we say we're doing with the money. You know, and the story we say around the money. Because what happens is when organizations make donations to charities, The charity spends so much of their time running around doing the paperwork to tell the funder, this is what we're doing with your money, and these are the people that we're spending the money on, and this is the right demographic, and this is... So all the time gets taken up trying to satisfy the funder.
And the people are not helping the process.
And we're getting taken away from it. Where to get government money, there's so many checks and balances to try and get the money that we never get the money because everyone's screaming corruption, mistrust, blah, blah, blah. So everyone's kind of taking a moral high ground and wants to put in all the checks and balances, which just blocks up the system.
But I don't think that's about moral high ground. What I'm thinking is about nobody wants to get robbed. And because they don't want to get robbed, they put all of these processes in place.
What do you mean nobody wants to get? If you're giving someone money as a donation,
right?
You're giving it to the person. I'm giving it to you, and now you have to spend it like this, and you have to spend it like this, and then could you spend it on that, and like, because you can't rob me.
Exactly, but what I'm saying is, that is why those checks and balances are in place, because people feel that if we've given you something to spend on the people, and you haven't spent on the people, but the only way for you to know, to tell us that you spent it, is to have an accountant, which will cost money, is to have a bookkeeper, who's going to cost money. So all of those things is going to be...
So the value that you need is transparency.
And what you're saying is that we can take SAB and create a value of transparency with the money that we get from them.
You're going to have to work out what's right with you. I mean, I've got to go to sleep at night.
All I want to do is that I just want to know that once we do get once we do get an opportunity to receive funding from people like SAB, is that we won't have to answer, or we won't get stuck in answering questions where people can ask for welcome. David,
people ask questions all the time so they don't have to give.
But what I'm saying is that we will get it. But what I'm saying is that once we get money from SAB, the people that we're helping, one or two of them might ask the question, I'm a drug user, I'm an alcoholic, but I see that the program which I'm currently being presented by is sponsored by the very company that actually provides and distributes the alcohol that puts me in a place like this.
Do we take money from the church?
Do we take money from the church? We will take money from the church.
Okay. And is that morally right to take money from the church?
The church is obligated to build communities.
Obligated?
Because scripturally they're obligated. That's why people
obligated to do what?
The church pays a tithe, right?
Yeah.
And then from that tithing has to be used for the upliftment of the community.
Okay.
And this work that we do is for the upliftment.
In the name of?
Obviously in the name of God.
Or Jesus.
Or Jesus.
Yeah, okay, great. And so, if you're a Muslim person?
Of course you're obligated to build a community and we're obligated to take from them as well.
So if the church's agenda is to build community and teach Christian values and morals, yeah? And you're taking money from a church and you put the symbol of the cross on the church, would that not maybe impact people of other faiths? Would people maybe not have a...
It would impact them if they are not part of the program.
I tell you what, why don't we take money that comes from people that are empathetic to the Palestinian liberation movement?
Why don't we take money from them?
Huh?
Should we?
Well, if we had a whole lot of pro-Israeli people that wanted to give us money as well, and they heard we were receiving money from the Palestinians, do you think people might be impacted by that?
Of course people will be impacted by that. It's very religious and political at the same time. But the question is, what do we do with the money that we receive, and how transparent are we in the reporting to those people that want to give, but because they see this brand...
So we need to be completely transparent.
So that is what I'm saying. So what I feel and what I'm taking from this is that as long as what we have in place is transparent, money can come from any source. as long as that source in its own has its brand.
So this is how we do it. Yeah, we've got UACT here. Yeah, which is a Section 18A trust.
Right.
And then we'll have an NPO here. Yeah, will be your NPO or whatever. And then there's a 50-50 split of the cash. Yeah? Does that make sense?
Perfect.
So if you want to go and get money from whoever to fund what we do, which is to train people, treat people and provide recovery capital, that's what the transparent split is.
Okay.
We don't care where the money comes from. What we care about is what we do with the money. You know, so we need to focus on our mission, which is to cure the world of addiction. We do that through training, empowering and treating people. And this is where we're spending the money. Yeah, you can see in all the projects.
Right.
Yeah. What people do on this side with their NPOs and who they want to work with, that's up to them. So we can work with church organizations, political organizations, whatever. Our focus is on delivering that shit and having conversations like this.
Okay, makes sense.
Does that make sense?
Perfectly.
Because this is where we break down to education. Does that make sense?
100%. Thank you.
So when I walk into a community, straight away people think, ah, fuck. You know, white, straight, male, you know, what's his agenda, what's he doing, what's his privilege, how's he, you know, he's going to fuck us over somehow. I check he's got welcome in here. He's his little operator that's going to come and like fuck the people over. And this is the psyche that goes on in people's head that are being oppressed. And it should.
Exactly.
It should go on. We've got to try and undo that. So I've got to sit with the burden of that projection. This is what people are going to think about me, even though it's not
who you are.
Well, it's not that it's not who I am. It's my intentions. I just want to kind of train them. Like, I've got my own agenda. Yeah? I don't have a political agenda. Yeah? But the agenda that I do have has a political impact.
Exactly.
Yeah? So politicians will go out and say, we can fix the drug problems because communities have said, you must do something about the drug problem. Yeah? So when we come with a solution of what to do, there's a whole lot of mistrust and mess that needs to be spoken about first. You know? That's my experience is, when you go for places like SAB or the corporate guys, they don't want to invest in this because of the way people discriminate against addiction work, mental health work. And it's much easier for these guys to say, well, we donated to sports, yeah, or we donated to cancer, we donated to HIV, you know, because those issues are a lot more palatable to society. Do you know what I mean? Oh no, we gave a welcome ex-gangster a whole lot of money to go and do good. Exactly. He came and said, "How many people who should know come?" You know.
That makes perfect sense. So I think that for me right now, it is possible that ethical funding is something that can still be written in our, as I said, in our...
Do we take money from USAID?
Of course we would.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's USAID.
What does that mean?
It means that it's a
because it's USAID.
No, it's not just because it's USAID, but the principles under which the USAID gives funding is for the improvement and betterment of communities and societies, which is one and the same. It is like if there's educational programs that can improve the lives of kids from a disadvantaged community, then we will, as USAID, we will support that. As USAID will also support any work that has the proven record and results to make a big change in the world. So we will provide funding, and I will take funding from without even questioning it. I will take not just because it's dollars, but because it's also the principle is for me, as I say, the principles of any company that gives money to us. It must be built on a foundation.
Take money from China.
How
about North Korea?
If North Korea gives money, it would probably be because they feel guilty about something. But for me, it would be important that we have an understanding between our moral obligations towards, because we have a moral obligation to the people that we serve.
Do we?
Yes, of course. We have a container that we at all times needs to make sure that it's safe, and that our people are not triggered, or that our people are not going out there in the world having to bear a label.
So I think they are going to go out into the world.
Of course they're going to
be triggered and all that stuff. And I think we have a moral obligation to be realistic about the world people are going into.
Exactly.
And provide support and supervision and care around that. So it's also not just kind of coming and dropping cash, you know, and going. I mean, we do that all the time with beggars at the traffic light. Just drop some cash. It's actually about sticking around and having a relationship.
Or even understanding the person that's giving us money. That's important. I love having a relationship with the one that gives, and as the receiver, I want to have a relationship with the giver, but making the giver understand that the money that you have given actually has the following duties and performances.
You see, what I want to do is I don't want to waste time having to chase the money and justify it. I just want enough money here to kind of sustain what we're doing, so we can focus on what we need to do.
Okay, so that's the only difference between you and me, is that I want a relationship. And that relationship is not just a standing relationship, but it's also a relationship that actually allows us to further deepen the work.
So I got tired of trying to build relationships, chasing that stuff, because it took away from my time.
Exactly.
So now I've done it in a way that I use my time in a very resourceful way to do what I want to do without the money.
But in essence, I think that we have covered the topic with regards to,
I think he's bringing it to a close.
I think it's ethical.
Did you change your mind?
No, I have a lot to think about, and what you said does make sense.
So the Department of Social Development will not take money from SAB?
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah, okay, and that we have a cultural problem with.
Exactly, I understand that, but what I'm saying is that my idea right now...
churches won't accept drug addicts into their congregation.
Some churches won't, others will.
I get it.
Exactly.
And nobody's openly going to say it, but it's not as if there's...
Well, you finished. You got a few minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, so that draws us to a conclusion then. So my judgment in all of this is the following, is that yes, I would consider taking money from SAB if there is a